Hey everybody, it is payday. It's January 9th and I got my paycheck, but I have not done my projections for this period of the month. So I'm going to do that right now. So let's start with checking out everything in my app. My shipping went through, so that is entertainment. 45.31. Subtract that from Mad Money. And then my gift that I ordered has also come through. 24.91. 24.91. And then my Tobala came out, $65.94. And then I think I'm going to leave that because at that point my bank account had $4.70 in it. And then this McDonald's did hit, which brought it to negative $9.64, but I pretty much immediately got my paycheck. So I'm just going to cut off the last paycheck here and then start the new paycheck and apply it to that. So basically, I'm going to, and also yesterday's dinner. So these two things are going to come out of the next check. So I'm just going to cut them and move them down. Okay, so we've got my bank withdrawal line here. We'll figure that out in a minute. And then we have McDonald's. This was Burger Master. I paid for some downtown parking, which came to let's say $5 for city parking. I have another McDonald's. Yeah, and then I have another McDonald's. So we will just kind of take that right off the top of the paycheck. I know that I need to send my dad $150 for my debt payment. So we got dad debt on there. Let's go through and put in all of my planned spending. So fixed bills. We've got insurance on the 13th, so I'm just gonna come down a couple of days and we'll do 113. Insurance, car insurance, and that is what? 154.15. Hulu's on the 21st, so that'll be a little bit farther down. That's $32.66. Alright, Peacock and YouTube are both on the 14th. YouTube is $15.24. And Peacock is $18.50. I think I do need to go get some toiletries. I'm out of antacids and I'm out of something else. I forgot what it was, but I'm just gonna give myself $40 for that. don't need a haircut. I do have a chiropractor appointment, but I'll look at that on my calendar. I don't think I have any more gifts to give. I guess my brother's birthday. I don't know exactly what we're doing for that yet. I'll just budget it in here and we'll see what I end up doing. I'm gonna budget $250 for my dad's birthday gift. And I'll take a closer look at that when I actually shake things out, but I'll start with that. Alright, so I'm gonna move this McDonald's charge. This did come through. So it was $14.34. And I budgeted $15. It was $14.34. Which was this McDonald's. And now, pending, I've got Burger Master, which ended up being $29.78. And then Seattle parking. And I kept extending it because I didn't know how long I needed the space, so I'm just going to put all the transactions in here. So $4.44. And then I've got another McDonald's in here that's pending. And then my paycheck. And my paycheck was only $21.55.96. So I don't know why it was a little bit less. It's only like $2 off. It could be that my medical premiums changed in the new year, although this was payment for December hours, so I don't know if that's what happened, but I'm going to look at my earnings statement and figure out why this is a little bit less than expected. I know I'd like to try to buy more hardware for my dressers to replace some handles. I bought some last pay period, but they didn't fit, so I need to try again. And the pieces that I returned were about $60 worth. I think I'm going to budget $75 just so that I've got a little bit of wiggle room. I'm just going to call it dresser hardware. This time I actually measured, so hopefully I'll be able to get the right size. Alright, I'm going to send my dad the money right now while I'm logged in and thinking about it. Sent. And now, let me look at my calendar and see what I have going on. So, today I've got nothing. On the 11th, I will probably need to get gas. So we'll fill up for 60 and I'll use cash. I have a board meeting and I have rehearsal that day. I'll probably eat out while I'm out and about. So let's budget. I'll just budget $40 for food. I need to mail something. I don't know how much the postage will be. I'll budget like I'll just budget $5. Postage. It will be less, I'm sure, but you never know. Alright. I have a coffee date on the 12th, so I'm gonna schedule like $10 for that. Honestly, I have money in my bank or in my Starbucks app that I could use. I'm just gonna budget it anyway, and then if I use the app, there's $10 more that I have. My friend's birthday is coming up, and I don't know what to get her. I might take her out to dinner, so maybe I'll budget like $100 for that. And actually, it's a couple. One's birthday is this month, and one's birthday is next month, so maybe I'll take them both to dinner. So maybe what I'll do is I'll set $100 aside for this for now, and then I'll set another 100 aside next time, and then just take them both out in February. So, yeah, I'll sinking fund that. That'll be fun. I have a chiropractor appointment on the 14th, which it really varies how much that is, so I don't really know. But I'm just gonna put chiro. We also usually go to dinner or lunch or something. So I will budget 30 for brunch with Rachel. We don't have a place picked yet. We should probably figure that out. I'm gonna text her right now. I have rehearsal on the 15th, so I'll probably need gas again that day, because I'll be driving up to Seattle. So that on the 15th, and maybe I'll budget some for dinner that day as well. I'll just budget a dine out for that. On Thursdays I work all day and then I drive to Seattle, and so it's kind of a pain to like plan to bring a lunch. I can do it and I have, but it's easier to just eat out. So I think I'll allow myself that on those days, especially since the rest of the period is pretty chill. Nothing on the 16th. On the 17th I'm going to Portland, and so I'll probably need to get gas at some point for that. I also expect that we will go to dinner. And I expect that we will go to Goodwill. So I'm just going to budget for that this time instead of it being a surprise. I'm going to give myself $100. And maybe I'll come in under that. Okay. Got nothing on the 18th, 19th, 20th. The 21st is a leftovers day, so I'm going to budget $20. I'm going to budget $20 for that. 22nd I have rehearsal again, so I will have gotten gas on the 17th, and then I might need gas again on the 22nd. Probably not. I'm not doing a whole lot of driving, but I'll just do it. I'd rather budget it and then not need it than need it and have to go over. I will also plan on eating out that day as well, because again, it's a Thursday. I need to put my tobalas in here too. I'm going to plug in my tobalas real quick. So we've got one on the 15th and the 22nd. So we've got 15. I'll budget 75. And the 22nd. Okay. On the 24th, I'm going to see a play, and we might go to dinner. The tickets have already been purchased, but I'm going to budget dinner just in case we go out. The 25th would normally be my payday, except that it's the 26th this month. So did I? Yeah, and that's reflected here because I'm going through January 25th. And that's a Sunday where I don't have anything going on. So I think this should be everything. Let's see how that adds up, shall we? Ooh, okay, it's under, so $17.55. And my check should be, well, is $21.55. Oh, so I have a couple $100. Yeah, I got like $400. Cool, so I should probably put that towards my emergency fund since I had to dip into it so badly. So I'm going to say 0 for that because I didn't actually save anything. I'm going to change that to I want to put 400 in. I should put 408. I can probably come up with $8. We're gonna try this again. Second time's a charm. So 408 will bring this to 1,000. This is an emergency fund. This is make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I should probably throw a few McDonald's in there. And you know what? That doesn't give me any wiggle room. I don't have any mad money. And I would like to have a little bit because we've shown that I need that. Maybe I'll try an experiment where I don't give myself mad money, because I think what's happening is when I know that I've got some extra cash that I can use for whatever I want, I start to go to Goodwill 6 times, or I'll just drive through or whatever. And I think I'm going to try not giving myself any mad money up front. If I want to have extra, I have to cut some of these things. So maybe I don't go to dinner when I'm in Seattle for color guard rehearsal, and then I can put that $40 towards something else. But that's going to have to be something that I actively choose to do, because I really want to put this $408 towards the emergency fund, and I still need to get 8 somewhere. So I'm going to do it from, you know what? I'm going to do it from Tovala, because Tovala is going to be under budget. Maybe it won't be. I need to get $8 from somewhere, so I think I'm going to do it from one of my dinners. I'll just make it 32 instead of 40. And I'll do that on this one right here. So I'll say $32. Yeah, alright. Yeah, we did good. So we got the whole paycheck divvied up, and the last thing I need to do is figure out how much cash I need to go and get from the bank. Alright, so $12.70 is what I'm taking out at the bank, and really it doesn't matter because if I end up being off, I can fix it. But that's a good place to start. So, okay, I think that I've got a good handle on the rest of the month. I'm giving myself some wiggle room. I don't have any more McDonald's runs in here. I feel like I'm gonna want McDonald's, but like I said, I'll have to take it from somewhere else. So we're gonna see if I can do it. We are gonna see how I do. And some of these things will probably be less, like maybe I won't spend 75, like I said. So there's some wiggle room in here. I'm giving myself a buffer, and I'm giving myself some grace. So, but that's the whole check. So I will wrap that up here, and I will see you in my next check-in video. Hey everybody, it's later the same day. I went into town and I ran to the bank, took out my $12.70, and then I went and deposited $408 into my emergency fund just to be done with it, and that brought my total to $9.97. So somehow in this journey I was short $3. Or there's a chance maybe there was some sort of a fee or something. What I need to do is log in, but I've never really logged into this account before. It's a separate bank from my normal bank. So anyway, but I was able to deposit $411, and that brought my balance to $1,000. So I have a $1,000 emergency fund, and it feels so good. The only thing I need to do is double check and see if there were any like fees or something, because I don't know how I got off by $3. That's pending. So my sister and I did tweak this a little bit. As soon as I stopped recording, my sister came over, and we both realized as soon as I finished recording, my sister came over and we were chatting, and we realized we both needed to go into town, so we decided to go together, and then I said I'd pay for dinner. So I went ahead and took away one $40 Seattle dinner and the $40 I was going to spend on toiletries here to give myself $80 for dinner with my sister. And I spent, I used cash, and it came to $76.43. So we're just going to put equal Latin, 80, 76, 43. So 357 can go back into mad money. and that takes care of that dinner. However, I also, for this dresser hardware, one of the reasons I wanted to go into town was to go to the Home Depot and get some hardware for my dressers. And since I had returned some to Lowe's and got about $60 back, I budgeted $75 just to not take any chances. And they didn't have any that were the right size at Home Depot either, because this time I actually measured to know what I was looking for instead of guessing. And they didn't have anything that fit. So while we were at dinner, we hopped online, or I went online on my phone, and I found some that are the right size. They look like they'll be okay. I would prefer to have just bought them, one, to feel them and know like the quality is good, and then bring them home and immediately replace the hardware on my dresser to have it done. But I had to settle for ordering it online and hoping for the best. And $55, so I came in under my $75. I'm gonna put that under entertainment because it's like a home project. So I'm gonna call it dresser hardware. I budgeted $75 and I only spent $55. So I have $44.45, which I'm just gonna transfer this back to my toiletry line on my budget because I took the $40 from there. I took the $40 from here to give it to dinner tonight, so I'm just gonna take it from the hardware and put it right back rather than putting it in my Mad Money fund. And then this receipt, which I still have, is actually from the dinner at Burger Master last night, which does this have my tip on there? It does. Okay, great. And it matches, so I'm just gonna toss this. I ended up using my card for this dresser transaction, so it's actually not cash, which at the end of the day is gonna kind of throw off my $12.70, but I'll just monitor it as I go. But I'm not gonna gray it out until the transaction actually goes through, so I'll just change that, and then I'll monitor my card. Hi again, it is later the same day. I was relaxing in bed, about to start reading, and I suddenly remembered I have some credit card payments. And I was like, have I budgeted for those? And sure enough, I came over here to check, and on the 17th and 22nd, I will have a couple of payments coming out, and I did not budget for that. This is totaling $500, and I already deposited $408 into savings to get to my $1,000, and I am not taking it out again. So I need to play around with this a little bit more. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think this $100 sinking fund, I'm just gonna have to reallocate toward one of my credit card payments, and I will just take out $200 in February when I am actually ready to do that. And I need to add a payment of $350 on the 17th. Okay, so I've got I need $250 more. So I think I'm gonna have to take this $250 for my dad's birthday, and you know what? I'm gonna leave it. My sister borrowed this $250, and so I'm gonna find out when she'll be able to pay me back for that. Okay, now I need $150 for my other one. $50 to my brother. We don't really have any plans for him, and he didn't really get me anything for my birthday. Okay, I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give myself $50 for shopping. So I've got 50 of the 150. I need 100 more. Let's do this. I'm going to take 20 away from my toiletries, which I really don't need that much. I just put it there. So I'm gonna say 24.45, which gives me 20 to go towards the 150. So now I need 70 more. And we're gonna get it by going to taking away this 20-second dinner, so there's 40. I'm gonna take this dinner before my play down to 30. So now I need $20 more. I'm gonna take it from 2 gas. So I'm gonna say 50 and 50. Okay. My check is $21.55. I'm gonna add the $2.50 my sister will give me, hopefully. That brings me to $24.05. So I'm back kind of on track. As long as I can get my money from my sister, I should be good. Anyway, wow. I'm glad I realized that. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.